Hello class, our topic is about operations of functions. This includes the four fundamental operations and also the composition of functions. Now let us remember that performing operations with functions yield to another function. Here are the notations that we have to remember in doing the operations of functions. So let us proceed to addition. The notation that we have to remember is that f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. Let us have an example. Say f of x equals x plus 1 and g of x equals 2x minus 1. Suppose we are going to find the sum of f of x and g of x. So this is the solution. Again, going back to the notation, f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. Substituting to the notation, f of x is x plus 1. So we write x plus 1. And then the g of x is 2x minus 1. So the basic concept of addition and subtraction involves the concept or the topic about like terms or similar terms. In this case, the similar terms are x and 2x. Similar terms are terms having the same variable and the same exponent of those variables. So we put together x and 2x, that becomes 3x. And then 1 minus 1, which becomes 0. Therefore, the final answer is 3x. F plus g of x equals 3x. And that is the final answer. Let us have another example. Say g of x equals 2x minus 1 and h of x equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 8. And we're going to find the sum of g of x and h of x. And going back to the original notation and substituting the values of g of x and h of x. Again, determining the similar terms or the like terms. 2x squared is alone, while 2x and negative 3x. Remember that the negative sign should be included. And then we copy negative 1 minus 8. So just copy 2x squared. And then 2x minus 3x equals negative 1x, or simply we write x or negative x. And that is already the final answer. Understood? And now, let us proceed to subtraction. Now guys and girls, the rule for the subtraction of functions is just the same for the rule of subtraction of integers. So we have two steps. First, change the sign of the subtrahend. So it is imperative that we have or that we know how to determine which one is the minuend and which one is the subtrahend. Next, proceed to the rule of addition. Remember guys that the subtrahend is the second function written in the notation. That is the subtrahend. So let us have an example. R of x equals 4x minus 8. And S of x equals 7x plus 5. Suppose we're going to get the R minus S of x. In this example, S of x is the subtrahend. Again, writing the original notation. R minus S of x equals R of x minus S of x. Again, S of x is the subtrahend. Now, substituting for the value of R of x, which is 4x minus 8. Copy the minus sign, and then the G of x, which is 7x plus 15. It is very important to put an open and close parenthesis for the subtrahend. Next, let us change the sign, or simply by distributing the minus sign. So copy 4x minus 8, and then from positive 7x, that becomes negative 7x. And from positive 15, that becomes negative 15. So, again, looking for the common terms or like terms, we have 4x and then negative 7x. And then negative 8 and negative 15. So 4x minus 7x is negative 3x, and negative 8 minus 15 is negative 23. Therefore, R minus S of x equals negative 3x minus 23. And now we have the multiplication. This process of operation of functions usually include the distributive property. For example, we have, say, f of x equals x minus 1, and g of x equals 2x minus 3. So we're going to multiply a binomial by a binomial. Going back to the notation, f times g of x equals f of x times g of x. Again, substituting the values, f of x is x minus 1 and g of x is 2x minus 3. In this example, we have to use the FOIL method, which was introduced to you in your earlier years in junior high school. So x times 2x equals 2x squared. And x times negative 3 is negative 3x. While negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. Simplifying, we have 2x squared, and then combining negative 3x and negative 2x, that becomes negative 5x. Copy plus 3. And that is now our final answer. f times g of x equals 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Let us have another example. Say a of x equals x minus 2 and b of x equals x squared minus 9x plus 10. Again, using the same notation. Substituting the values, we have x minus 2 times x squared minus 9x plus 10. In this example, we are multiplying a binomial to a trinomial. Again, we have to use the concept of distributive property. So we distribute x with x squared. Again, distribute it to negative 9x and distribute it to 10. That's why we got a product of x raised to 3 minus 9x squared plus 10x. And then next, distribute the negative 2 or the second term of the first function to the 3 terms of the second function. Negative 2 times x squared, we have negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times negative 9x becomes positive 18x. And negative 2 times positive 10, we have a negative 20. Now, grouping together the like terms. So the like terms are x squared and negative 2x. Negative 9x squared rather. So negative 9x squared minus 2x is negative 11x squared. Plus 10 plus 18 is 28. Copy the variable x minus 20. Therefore, the final answer is a times b of x equals x raised to 3 minus 11x squared plus 28x minus 20. Did you get it? And now, let us move on to division of functions. Dividing functions will be very much easier for you if you know the concept or if you master the concept of factoring. Say we have examples. F of x equals 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 and g of x equals x plus 5. So what is f over g of x? Or what is the quotient of the given two functions? Now we have three ways on how to get the quotient. First, factoring. So again, going back to the notation, we simply get the ratio of f of x and g of x. So f of x equals 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. That is our numerator. And then the denominator is the g of x, which is x plus 5. So the given numerator could be factored as 2x minus 1 and x plus 5. So, if you can still remember this topic way back when you were in junior high school, it will be very much easier for you to get the factor of the given numerator. And then we can cancel the common terms, which is the x plus 5. Therefore, the resulting quotient is simply 2x minus 1. So the concept again of factoring, especially factoring trinomials. So if you already forgot on how to factor, you have another option. That is to use the long division. So from the word itself, it might take a longer time in solving or in dividing functions using the long division method. Again, using the same given set of functions. So we're going to get f of x over g of x. Substituting for the values, 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 over x plus 5. So it is like we are just dividing whole numbers or numbers way back when we are in elementary. So we put 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 inside and x plus 5 outside. So I am going to show you on how we divide terms. First, divide 2x squared by x. So this is how. So 2x squared can be written as 2 times x, while x is simply x. So we cancel the common, which is x. What is left is 2x. And we wrote it at the top. Next, we distribute 2x to 2x and 5. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 5 equals 10x. Next, the next operation will be subtraction. So we have to subtract 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 by 2x squared plus 10x. So I am going to write it again here to show you on how we subtract these terms. So 2x squared plus 9x minus 2x squared plus 10x. Again, changing the sign, we have the positive 2x squared becomes negative, and then the positive 10x also becomes negative. Therefore, 9 plus negative 10 equals negative 1x, or simply negative x. And we bring down negative 5. Now, negative x divided by x. So just like the process earlier. Negative x over x. So simply we cancel x. What is left is negative 1. Again, we distribute negative 1 to x and 5. Negative 1 times x is negative x. And negative 1 times positive 5 is negative 5. So, negative x minus 5 minus negative x minus 5. So, that will result to 0. Without even using the rules for subtraction. Therefore, f over g of x equals 2x minus 1. So if you notice, using the factoring and using the long division, we got the same result. What about if the smaller function, say x plus 5, is the one written in the numerator, and then the bigger function is in the denominator? So if you can see, it is just like a, how do we call this? An inverted of the given earlier. Therefore, we just get the reciprocal. 1 over 2x minus 1 is the answer. Okay? Now, the third option is to do the synthetic division. Synthetic division, if I'm not mistaken, is or been discussed in the grade 10 mathematics. Again, using the same set of example, 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 for f of x, and then the g of x is x plus 5. Let us see if we're going to get the same results. So 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 divided by x plus 5. Now, let us see to it that the functions are given or are written in standard form in such a way that the exponents of the variables are in decreasing order. So in this case, 2, 1, and then 0. Remember that constants also has variables with them, but just those variables are having 0 as their exponent. So after doing that, we have to write the numerical coefficients. In this example, we have 2, 9, and negative 5. For the denominator, we equate it to 0. So we transpose positive 5, that becomes negative 5. And then here is the process. Bring down 2, multiply it to 5. So we write it below 9. So that is negative 10. And then add. 9 plus negative 10 is negative 1. Again, multiply to negative 5. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. And then 0. So the 0 in the last number or the last figure for our third row indicates that the numerator is exactly divisible by the denominator. We got an answer of 2x minus 1. So the numerator there uses or is having a degree of 2. So we just subtracted 1 from 2. That's why we have 2x minus 1. Now, another example. X raised to 3 plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10 for c of x. And d of x is x minus 1. So this one is a bit longer. So c of x divided by d of x. D of x is x minus 1. So let us check if the numerator is in standard form. So it is already okay. So again, writing the numerical coefficients 1, 6, 3, and negative 10. And then we equate x minus 1 to 0. Transposing negative 1, that becomes positive 1. Bring down 1. Multiply it to 1. And add. 6 plus 1, 7. Multiply again to 1. Add. Multiply to 1. And then add. Again, 0 is the remainder. So the numerator is in degree of 3. That's why we're going to subtract 1 from it. So we are going to use x squared. X squared plus 7x plus 10 is the final answer. Did you get it right? And now we have the composition of functions. This means function inside the function. In this case, we have to identify which one is the innermost function. F circle g of x means f of g of x. is the value of g of x. And then g of x equals 3x minus 5. Now, f of 3x minus 5. But before that, we have to write first what is f of x. And then substitute 3x minus 5 to the value of x. So instead of writing x, we write 3x minus 5, copy plus 2. Next, simplifying. We have 3x minus 5 plus 2, or 3x minus 3. That should be equal to 3. Let us have another example. Say a of x equals x minus 1, and b of x equals 2x minus 7. Again, it is important that we have the right first denotation. So b circle a of x also means a of x is the innermost function, and b of x is our output function. So a of x equals x minus 1. Now using b of x equals 2x minus 7, let us substitute the value of x, which is x minus 1. So instead of writing x, copy 2, we write x minus 1, copy minus 7. Distributing 2 times x equals 2x, and 2 times negative 1 is equal to 2, copy minus 7, and then simplify. Therefore, the final answer is b of a of x equals 2x minus 9. What about this example? Let us try. f of x equals x plus 2, and g of x equals 3x minus 5. Say we have g circle f of 2. That also means g of f of 2, or f of 2 as our innermost function. In this case, instead of x, we already have the value, which is 2. So we must first And now we have to simplify the result, again using the concept of similar terms. Copy x squared, then we have similar terms 4x and 5x, that becomes 9x. And the similar constant terms, which are 4 and 16, and that is 20. Therefore, h of f of x equals x squared plus 9x plus 20, and that is the final answer. That is all. Thank you.